4-lane highway, double train track, double decked, extra dosed bridge. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Second City, and in the last part we built out this Doris Park Transit Center, which I think looks really good. And overall, you guys seem to have pretty positive feedback. There are some improvements I need to make for sure, but overall the reception of this seems pretty nice, and you guys agreed that we needed a better transportation system here. So before we jump into any actual building, let's do some of your guys' feedback. First, I have a comment from Damon Baseball 88 to change the name of Hollis to Lexington Hill, which easy enough. I can do that. Lexington Hill. And then Hollis EE Fire Station at Stacey Fifth Street Post. Yeah, the only other thing I need to change would be the fire station. We'll name this Lexington Hill Firehouse. Bam. All right, so there we go. We've got Lexington Hill, which is just below Munster. Then I've got two comments, one from Superhero 00007 and one from Priyan, both of them saying I need to put a taxi depot somewhere near this transit hub to get the most efficiency and use out of it. Taxi depot. This is like a big old garage. It's a little bit large, but we do have some open spaces that we could kind of leverage to make this work. Let me get out of this transit view. I said we had open space, and now I can't find any spaces whatsoever. I almost want to incorporate the taxi depot maybe into this area. Place it right up here. It's near this other kind of service-like building. And then instead of having that alleyway going diagonal, we can send this alleyway directly behind here instead. I think that's way better. Now, what are the options on this? Garage extension, more space for taxi vehicles. Oh my gosh, and it fits perfectly. How many vehicles do you get? An additional 10? Honestly, because I know we need to go back through and add in a ton of taxi stops, let's go ahead and just throw in all the upgrades. We'll add 2 of these garage extensions. Dispatcher Center, unique. It allows the taxis to pick up passengers from all over the city, not just dedicated taxi stands. 100%. And now we're at a level 18 expansive metropolis. Congratulations, you're moving ahead very nicely. $450,000, more development points, more expansion points. Okay, great. New signature building unlocked. Shard Arena, where competitions ignite and legends are born. This pulsating heart of esports in your city, offering a thrilling recreational hub where gamers come together to compete, connect, and create unforgettable gaming experiences. That's awesome. All right, electric taxis. Let's also just do it. We can afford it. Why not? Final set of comments I had, notably from Frederick and from Joshua, are that I need more density around this hub. And to some degree, I do agree. However, I also like having some of this being open because with the connectivity that's here, you can easily get anywhere in the city. But we did start some of that density here with Munster, and if you notice, it does look a little bit different. Again, I did a little bit more work on it here, added in some buildings along this side that I think look really nice, and that definitely increased that density here. Munster now has 2,000 residents and almost 5,000 jobs, which is fantastic. But I do think there's more that we could do. So let's figure out what that would be. I did off camera, by the way, add in Hickory Street with parking on both sides, which I think looks really nice. And then just put in some of these higher density offices as well as some Chinatown style buildings, just because I felt it looked kind of nice. In terms of parked vehicles, we have 0 of 160. And because I've got all this parking here on the street level, I do wonder if we start off with removing this building entirely. And instead, we bring in some of this medium density over to here. Now, what I will say is that I want this to look nice. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to look nice just using the zoning available. We can try, but I think I do want to place a few buildings, at least here. Oh, that looks great. That looks great. Okay, let's double check the levels here. We're going to lock this. I know it's level 5 already, but I don't want these changing in their heights at all. I'm happy with where you are. I don't want you ever upgrading or becoming something different. Okay, so that just expanded Munster again a little bit further. We're now at over 5,300 jobs, 2,200 residents. The last block I want to focus on before we switch over to something different, Cedar Flats, I'm probably just going to do off camera. I think it is just going to be row houses. And you know what? I say I'm going to do it off camera. There's literally no reason I just can't do it right this second because I don't think it's going to be anything fancy. We're going to limit any of the zoning, so it's all along this road here. I am then going to come in here with our medium density. I am going to use North American, and I'm going to go 4 back, I think. Let that all start to zone in. While that's there, we're going to do a one-way alley from here straight to here. Look. Maybe there's a lot of intersections. Maybe it's not ideal, but it is what it is. All right, let's also then put key wall there. If I key walled this, I could still come in here and get another 4 deep of North American style, which I don't hate that. Let that all fill in. And then I guess we would just need to figure out what goes in this area and this area. There we go. So we just added in some Chinese buildings. I never really use these anywhere else in the city, but I think they look really nice. And it just gives us a little extra something here. We've got some trees along this side so that they can have a nice little promenade area to walk through. But then we have parking right up here in front of all of these buildings. I mean, look, all of them have got all the employees they need. It helps bolster our employment rate, which is great. This is filling out nicely. I think all I want to do real quick is just fill in for now this strip here with some trees. There we go. Okay, Cedar Flats, I'm calling it basically done. This all looks really good. We might need to come back for some improvements, but I think that works out really nicely. We've got parking in the back of the buildings. You can come up right to the back, or with the one-way alleyway, you can still park along the street. This has now been developed. That looks great. Last little section. Man, this is taking so much longer than I thought. Last little section for the moment, because this is not even the goal of today's episode. For the moment, this is going to become just a beautiful little grass section. We're not going to put any development here. We're going to leave it wide open. In the future, when we have more buildings and we have more things we want to try to incorporate into our... Right there. I think that works beautifully. Now we can kind of wrap up this section, at least for the moment. What I really want to get into today is if we look over here at our power, we are getting precariously close to having a power issue in our city, which has not happened in ages. So if I recall, we have the Aspen Gas Power Plant, yes, and we have the Parker Incineration Plant, both of which phenomenal. But we're at a point in the game where I've got essentially unlimited money. We've got 265 map tiles we've never used, and we have 76 progression points, which is just crazy. Like, what's the final level here, too? Milestones. There's 2 left. 2 left. We've got to get 2 more milestones. So what I want to do is I want to go into power, and I want to purchase the nuclear power plant. I also think, let's see how large this nuclear power plant is. I have not built this yet. I'm very excited. Oh, it's beautiful. It's huge. It's huge, but I'm very excited. That looks great. Coal power plant, nuclear power plant. All right, here's what I'm thinking. Purchasing a swath of tiles up here and making an additional industrial area for our citizens. I think one thing we could really use more support on is industrial. And if we look over here at our population, even with all the business we're building, we still have 13.2% unemployment. And I think that's really stemming from the lack of industrial. We can build these commercial jobs all we want, but what people are looking for is those industrial jobs. Let's look here. There's not really anywhere up here that's quote unquote flat, but right here we could turn this into a decent industrial area right along the river and tie in to the highway that's right here. Now to do this, we have to buy a ton of pieces. I mean a ton. I need these 6 at a minimum, which is going to cost $1 million with $70,000 upkeep, which is not a problem. But I kind of want to upgrade the whole highway and get the whole highway to be 2 lanes, which means I need to buy all of this, which has $100,000 a month in upkeep. We make more than enough to support that, so I say let's go for it. We're going to buy all of these tiles, and I'm going to go ahead and just do something crazy, which is delete this entire road up to here. Can I just, before I get too wild and I accidentally delete something I need, can I just drag it in and build a connection? Okay, I can. Great. That's what I wanted to know. I think we go continuous, and our job becomes to send this up this side. Now, right here, here's where, like, our hill is, so we're going to build along the hill as much as we can. We loop around this side here. We get a tunnel at one point, which I don't want a tunnel. That seems ridiculous. Turn that off. Okay. Coming up this direction. Honestly, these grade changes are not that bad. I mean, a 4.2, 4.3. Let's snap on angle, and let's just go right out the 180. So now we have a 2-lane highway all the way through. Having a little bit of a death wave, as always. What do you expect? Traffic accident. Traffic accident. No pedestrian access. Not enough customers. I do think I want to have some type of highway connection that crosses over this way, and I want to have it cross over and go over top of this island. The problem is our heights are vastly different. And actually, now that I'm getting too close, look at the bumps. Look at the bumps. Hold on, I shouldn't have gotten that close. Let's try that again. Parallel. Let's turn on constant slope. But let's go ahead and just raise it up, not 10. Before I connect in, is that what I'm thinking? Yeah, it begins to bridge up. There is a bridged moment, and then it comes over here. I am fine with that. And the reason I'm fine with that is because we can then use that bridge section to our advantage. Can I send something underneath? I can't send it from here to there, though. It's too high. So this would just need to go over top. Okay. We need to go over top. Do I want to place a pre-made intersection? Because, like, we never really do that. They're just so big. They're so big. It's connected externally. I don't know what that other 2-way connection thing is, but it's there. Oh, you know what? That's for my water, I think. But now with that, I mean, frankly, this can just be a straight highway for all I care. We're going downhill. 2% change. Not bad at all. That can zoom right up into there. Beautiful. All right, so now we have our new highway system. Then we can take these highway lines and send them straight on over. It's actually perfect. There are some sections where I would like to see potentially key walls. That seems like too much. Maybe right here is where those key walls go. Just so it looks like there's some supports. Now, we also have bridges of different kinds. 4-lane highway, double train track, double decked, extra dosed bridge. Which this could look really cool here. Hold on. If I got rid of both of those, we did this crazy looking bridge. We build this, right? We build this. Okay. Underneath is a train. Above is a highway. What we have to figure out how to do here is get this all to work. Let's grab trains. Let's grab the double decker. Let's go ahead and give it a real nice curve. Okay. Now with that in the way, can I still somehow connect this in the appropriate way? The challenge is going to be getting this to work. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Back this up. Back this up. We're gonna get this, guys. We're gonna get this. What if I take out a 4-lane highway, right? Connect it here and just get it to go over top. Now we don't want it to go up. See how it's saying it's going up? We don't want that. Let's reduce this down. Oh, this is the elevation. Here we go. Elevation step. There we go. Ideally, I want it at 0. 0 does work, and we're able to bridge over this direction, which is great. I think, honestly, if we're being real with ourselves, we're probably going to need to do the same thing here. So let's bring that over to there. We're going to need to do a little bit of work here with the hill, but I think we can make that happen. Now, we just need to connect these guys directly into these 4 lanes, which I think is possible. Do we want to have kind of like a 2-lane and a 2-lane coming off of here? Let's go to a curve mode here. Let's do this. Let's come like this and just kind of curve it like so. And then same thing here. Just kind of curve it like so. Okay. Then turn off basically everything we've got going on there except for guidelines. And we want to get all of these to work together. Let's remove those little pieces. Is this going to be too much? 11. It's a lot. May not be too much, but it is surely a lot. If I were to bring that out like this and curve it down, that's 6.6. That's much better. All right, so we're going to do that. You're going to come into here. Just connect up that way. And you're going to come down here. And just connect up this way. Oh, except for you're the wrong direction. Hold on. You need to go like that. You also need to be elevated. Why are you on the ground for all that time? That should be raised for sure. So now we've got a highway connecting in over this direction. I really don't like... Oh my gosh, it's Daisy Field Highway. That's actually adorable. I really don't like how low this train is, and I have a feeling it's going to be nearly impossible for us to raise this train to the height we need. That's at a 5.1, which, although not ideal, workable. Workable. I'm comfortable with 5.1. Let's send the train track straight up to here. Curve it this way, 3 degrees. Beautiful. And then we'll send it down this way. Okay. That's a good enough curve for me. Nice and sweeping. Now, we'll have to figure out how to tie in all of this in a moment. But let's then figure out what we do with the highway, and then we can level the land appropriately. Let's go back over here. Let's grab a 4-lane highway. At this point, we've just totally switched over to a single 4-lane highway. Fine with me. Can we bring it to the ground? Not yet. So let's bring it to here. Then bring it down to the ground here. Fantastic. Now, grab this soften tool. Increase the size. And let's just soften around this train line. Make it look like we never did this ourselves. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. So now we've got a new connection over to this area. And eventually we'll tie all this in further along as well. Once you come off this bridge and you come down to ground level, I wonder if this turns into an avenue. Like the bridge is your entrance, but once you get here, this is now going to be... I like that. I like that. I don't need this segment of highway going this way. If anything, I would just make a new highway. So I think that's perfect. All right. With this here, let's figure out size of the power plant. I mean, absolutely massive. I could see the power plant going... Wow. Okay. We're going to need to buy more land. I think the power plant needs to go like right over here somewhere. Grab these 3 tiles. I know one of them we're never going to use. That's okay. Are you still doing okay? 6.3 million. Okay, great. Power. Ground. I need to see the ground too. All right. I think power plant needs to go right here. Rotated this way. Road on the backside, train behind it. So let's take this height and let's just make a huge level square. Okay. Huge level square. Love it. Power plant. Facing this direction. But I want the train first. How much does it cost? 5 million to place. So like I can't do this incorrectly. It has to be done right. We got to do this right the first time. All right. So let's take some time to do some measuring here. I know I want a train track here. That cost me 3,000 to place. Like let's just do that. Next to the train line, we can place a road. Let's zoom in here. If I come right off here at the 90, let's go just 90 straight, bam. Then this can come straight down. We know that those are in line with one another. This can come forward, and this can come this way at the 90. Now, does this fit in here? It does. But I need to move it back 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then remove this and this and this and this. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I want to move it back because I also want to consider putting in some kind of train station back here. I would think cargo. Like there would be a cargo terminal here to ship everything we're going to be making up here. But I also could see the need for us to have a passenger. And I may, for the first time, combine both onto the same route. Cargo could easily go right here at the edge of the power plant, or we pull the cargo off pretty early and it goes over this direction. I think I like that idea more. All right, let's do this. Hold on. We got to do a little bit more terraforming here. We're going to blend it all back in. You're never going to know we had done all this. How much is a cargo station to build? 150. Okay, I'll place it first. We'll measure and then we'll do it the opposite way. If it's 150, that's nothing. If it's millions of dollars, that's something totally different. Okay, so now we've got the right road length. Grab this guy, move it, face it along this road here, which may still allow rear access. Nearly. It's not a perfect connection there, but I'll take it. Now that's connected up and in. Now we need to get the train to work with this a little bit better. And I think that's going to be easier to do than we think, because there is a decent amount of room here. If I were to curve this, I think that's just fine. I don't see why that wouldn't be just fine. Let's be real. The trains in this game, they're not frequent enough, and they really aren't that big of a deal or a hassle to work with. I think that's perfect. We're going to leave that just like that. Now, the question is, do we bridge over the front? And I think we do, only because I think it would be ridiculous to have you try to get over here on your own or cross over in front of this train. I wouldn't want you to do that. This can then connect straight up and in here. That's perfect. But now we've got a place for those trains to go in there. Okay. I also think we need to have some type of passenger train because this is going to be how some of these people get here. We could just do an EE train or a small train station base game, which I think would be just fine. If we were to build this, though, it would need to be offset a little bit. I think we're going to offset it slightly, right? Use this curve tool. Come out 56 meters. Rough about. There we go. And for the moment, we're going to just dead end this train track. Eventually, this could also feed other places as well. What's going on here? We have a crime. We have a crime scene. Creighton, do you not have proper crime coverage? We just revamped this. Oh, there comes your... Here comes some police. Are you going to deal with this? Something's going on over there. They may not have enough funding. See, that's why I liked assigning the police to each different district, because then I can see where the holes are. All right, so we've got trains. We've got some roads. I guess we technically want to connect this up and in first, too. So let's do this. Let's turn on our anarchy. I'm using 4 lanes, and I think I'm going to continue doing that, even though I really could maybe consider a 6-lane, especially in this area, but nah, we're going to leave it. All right, this is going to go straight, and we'll go down that way. Okay, I think this area needs to be smoothed before we can build our road in front. Regular road. I do think, too, you know what? Hold on. What if we take this road and we give it a key wall on this side? Yeah, I like that. All right, so we've got a road here. Let's bring just 2 roads straight down to connect up and in at the 90s from the train station. Because then I can easily fill in and zone this section, I think, pretty nicely, and that'll look good. Okay, so we've got this here. Let's just give this area a little bit of a work. I think this might be something large here, but like this here, we definitely are going to want a number of just zoned areas for our industry. So let's do this. I think here it's straight again. We're going to bring this off here. Here, we're going to leave that alone. We'll bring this along this way across the back where it will dead end. This one will connect straight in here. This one will get a small roundabout just because it's running into that train line. That was redeveloped to support the train. In the center here, I think we can easily just get away with even grabbing this intersection and sending it straight across and over. There we go. Okay, that's the beginnings of this new section. Then right here, we need our power plant, which I think we are ready to place it. I want to place it facing the exterior road, or do I want it facing this way? I want it facing over there. It's so expensive. Holy cow. Okay, face this way. Connect these 2 up like so. Then we've got all of these power lines. Okay, this was a happy accident. Do I need to connect all these power lines up to one another? If I bring this... If I bring this straight out here at the 90, can I cross here next to the train? I can. Does that make those symbols go away? It does. But this is a huge power plant. So I wouldn't mind turn everything off except for snap at ankle. Sending out multiple lines here just because, like, why not? So we have a line going this way, a line going this way. That's perfect. We now need to get these guys to connect into our downtown. Now, I think with this, we're going to decommission Aspen Gas. We don't need the Aspen Gas station anymore. So let's do this. We're going to hit pause. We're going to completely remove the decommissioned Aspen Gas. We're also going to check for any transportation lines up here. Any bus lines ever in this area? No. So with that, we're also going to remove all of this section of road here. All the businesses that are here are going to go. Sorry, guys, you got to get out. Get rid of all this. Get rid of this, this, this. And let's go ahead and just give this a soft smooth. Okay. Along with that, the Aspen Gas District is going to be deleted entirely. And Northfield is just going to expand a little bit. Like so. So now all of this is now just Northfield. There is no more Aspen Gas. That's going to put us at a terrible deficit for electricity, even though it's showing it's not. This is not connected to anything. So I can't unpause until we get these lines connected up. We have one major line here that goes along the river front, and I wouldn't mind continuing that. I do have to use Anarchy at first to get it to connect, and then we can go from here. Over time, this may move, but for now, this is how this is going to connect up and in. Let's connect this at 180. Let's get rid of both of these. And similarly, honestly, you know what? I think I'm going to put a little transformer station up here just so that for the industrial that's here, they have got a much better way of converting this power into usable energy. So let's remove this, because technically, if I don't have a transformer station up here, I think I'm thinking of this correctly, that means that this power is going to send high voltage power all the way down here. It's going to move all the way through to the first transformer station to then send it back up and over to this area. But now with that transformer station, this all technically has power. Great. So they do need their own transformer. So that's valuable. What just happened here? Another accident. Man, people are not driving safely. Okay. Now, we don't have any solution yet for water. Do I need to be concerned about water? I would be. I think it's worthwhile to fix this. Do we have a pumping station option here? See, this is going to create a lot of ground pollution, which I think is going to contaminate that aquifer. But right over here is an opportunity for us to pump a little bit more water. So we'll place a piece there. We'll just use an alleyway for this. We're going to go continuous. And we'll connect it right up and into here. So now it's got a road connection. That's going to be pumping water over there. Let's just loosely start to smooth out this bumpy edge here. I think there's going to need to be more work on it, especially because I've got random roads like this. Then we need to pump this water somewhere. We are pumping it all through here, which means this is going to have access to what's here, but nothing else will. I think the best way to do that would be to bring this line underneath of the road. And then I think we just follow this kind of all the way down the highway. Okay, so now we've got, that's water intake. We're pumping more water. Now we need to get rid of some water. I think a water treatment plant would work out really well. Both of these are essentially the same. They just look slightly different. This one's got some open basins on it. This one here is just a larger building. I like the idea of the open basins. I think that just looks cool. Oh, I wish it could fit right in there, but it cannot. Maybe this. No, I think this is going to go right in here. I wonder if I move that road. I really got to move it a decent amount. We're just going to place it right along the avenue. I think that's going to be just fine. So now we've got water treatment happening here as well as power production. I think I can unpause. You're producing power. It should go down this route. It comes down into here. It then goes into all these places. I am going to also, I think, build a second line from here over to here and connect in. I don't know if that's going to be used. I'm also wondering if it makes sense to just put an additional, now that we've cleared some of this, I think I want an additional transformer station here. Oh, it looks like it connected underground. I did not necessarily mean for you to do that. There we go. Whether or not that's going to, okay, it is going to be used. Okay, great. So that's more helpful. We just need additional transformer stations. I think this area like has none, but I'm not stressed about it because it's all low density for the most part. It's really like some of these other areas. I'm afraid I've not done this correctly. All right, tons of power coursing through here. Let's also then take this power line and go here. Let's back it up one. Power. Raise it up. Cross over. Bring it back down. Send it out. Just like that. We can start sharing power externally. There we go. Electricity trade 195. Electricity available 907 megawatts. All right, we are totally fine on power. I feel as though even with the new water availability, it's still not as great as I would want it to be. And so I do wonder if we need to consider some pumping stations. I think what we need to do is we need to build a section here that will allow for us to grab this water. Okay, so if I were to go like this, there's our water table right here. If I went up like 5, grab that height, make this smaller, right? Carve out a little section here along the coast. What we need here is a few things. I need enough space to be able to fit, I think, 2 of these, which we do appear to have. If I turn off this water's edge piece, I can rotate this a little bit better and end up having these just next to each other. Let's go ahead and give them both the upgrades that they have available. And let's place a road kind of right in front, which it does connect to both sides. Great. Now this road has to get up to at least here, ideally. So let's figure out how we're going to do that. I think I want to do a switchback that maybe comes from this side up and over. And I want to see if we can do this. There's got to, I have an idea. I don't know if it's possible though. If we give... Well, that didn't work at all. Because what I want to do is I want to give this... I want to put a key wall on this. But for some reason, it's not letting me see it. Can I... can we do this? That way? That worked. There's my key wall. Okay. Now... let's see if we can figure this out. If I raise this up, at what point do we hit the top of what this key wall can do? Right about here. That's as high as that key wall is able to go. So knowing that that can't go any higher, this is where my next road goes. And it's at that height. That's where it needs to be. So next road, from here to here. Same exact road. Perfect. Let's raise it up to however high we can get it. Can we go higher than that? No. This is as high as it'll go. So we're going to raise to that level. Okay. Flatten this all out. We need another road here. Same size. And then this one... we should be able to take it to this level because this level is more than enough. Okay, so now I've got these 3 sets of switchbacks, which is perfect. We do have some weirdness happening here. So what I'd like to do, take all of these and set them to this height. Take all of these and set them to this height. and then take all of these and set them to this height. So now we've got 3 even sections here. I know you guys aren't connected up or anything. We're going to get there. This needs to come up to here. Then it comes up to here and goes over to there. Send this out straight to here. Then send this out straight to here. Let's see if we can do this. So then I want this to come forward to here. We can turn off the key wall for the moment. Turn on this key wall like this. This is going to go to here. Turn off the key wall for a moment. Go to here. And then this will be key walled to here. Okay. It looks crazy, but it's not going to look crazy forever. All right. Let's take off this key. We want retaining walls all along here. We have retaining walls all along here. All right. This is just going to take me 9 years to smooth out, but once we do, it's going to be perfect. Okay, so now we've got a surface on here. I've smoothed out a ton of the retaining walls. I think once I put some rocks and some trees along both edges, this is going to look really nice. Little bumpy down there, but again, let me get some rocks in here and it's going to, I think, look fantastic. There we go. All right. So and look, all these rocks, we could presumably say you took them from building these roads. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. All right. So we need to get this connected up because at the moment it's not even doing anything for us. So let's go ahead and just connect this into here. And if we can do this connection without any anarchy, that would be amazing. I am going to just make sure this is all properly working. I mean, it looks like it is. It appears to be working. Turn off that option there. But I am afraid that maybe with upgrading those roads, I might have messed this up. Let's just do straight level connections here. Connect both of those up. And then I might even just send this straight over here and see if that helps us out any. Does that get water flowing and moving? Water availability much higher now. Okay, great. So this is getting our water moving. They do have power because now we're all connected in, and we've got this great water treatment center here, or water pumping station center, that's then feeding over here. It makes me feel like it gives us the opportunity to delete this if and when we get to the point where this doesn't work anymore. Now, are we polluting this water here? I'm not sure yet. This is doing fine. There's no upgrades there. This is doing fine. There are some upgrades. It's not even storing anything at the moment, so no need to worry about any of that. Japanese water stations there. Okay, great. All this looks good. The last thing we're going to work on, now that we've got new power, new water, new sewage, which is going to just do amazing things for the city. We're also exporting a ton of it, which is great. Let's get a little bit of zoning in here just so that we fill out some of the industrial. Now, let me see what it would take to get any more of these buildings. The vehicle factory would take 4 more oil drilling areas. Paper factory, I'm not even close. SwitchCon needs 10 more level 5 industrial buildings. Need 1 medical university for pharma. And oil refinery, we need more cells. So let's do this. Since SwitchCon needs 10 more level 5 industrial manufacturing buildings, let's go ahead and build 10 more level 5 industrial manufacturing buildings. Can I type in manufacturing? Yes. Okay. So we need 10 more level 5s. We'll place this right there. I'm hoping these don't go abandoned and that there is demand for some of these, but we will see with time. I do think, before we go further, let's upgrade this road to have parking on both sides. Can I get this just to go right in the middle? We'll do parking here and here. Do we want parking on this one? It doesn't really work. We'll put parking here because then when we build out this area, that's going to look a little bit nicer. Okay, so now let's go back over here. Let's do a larger building. Do we have paper factory? This is a 5x3. Here's a 6x6, which we could place right here on this corner, facing the parking that we have available right here, which is great. I want one that goes further back long ways. Like this is long this way. Not exactly what I was looking for, although I could see two of these garages next door to each other. That's not bad. This is what I was thinking. We would have one of these kinds of garage buildings facing that direction. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6. This here can go right here. We'll have to work on those surfaces. That's okay. And then that's 7. We need an 8, 9, and a 10. Place this here. 8. Ooh. Ooh, can we... If we had anarchy on, would that work? I don't know if it would. Because it would be blocking part of this. But if I use move it, we scoot this over to here. Then we go back in here. Turn on... Not anarchy. Don't connect to road. Okay, we do need anarchy. Hold on. There we go. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need one more. Connect to road. I mean, what if we did one? Okay, if that's going to delete every time I place something, then that's not going to stay there. We're just not doing that. We're not doing that. We'll place this here. So far, I still need one more. I keep deleting them. There we go. Okay, now we have SwitchCon. From the humble toaster to his self-organizing sock drawer, this factory makes everything that runs on electricity. All right, let's see if this... Oh, it would fit. Not only would it would fit perfectly. Okay, here's how SwitchCon's going to work into this. Let's level out some of this land. I think we take like roughly this center height here. And we just level all of this straight on out. With this level, we are going to make some slight changes to some of these roads. This side of Davenport Street is going to get a key all the way up. This here is also going to get a key all the way up. It does make me consider upgrading this to match. Just putting more parking along there. That would also need to have a key as well, though. And then we'll deal with this back edge here later. Although I think what we could do, just to make this simple on ourselves, key wall this section of train up to that bridge. And then we could easily level this out to the train track. We might have to overshoot a little bit, and then we can bring it back in when we come back and just fine-tune everything. And then right here, we could just smooth this little section there out. Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, so now we've got a section here for SwitchCon. Let's go over to signature buildings. This is going to give us plus 2% industrial efficiency citywide and plus 1% college graduation citywide. All right, what I'd like to do is I'd like to kind of place this or position this further back. Maybe like over here, right? So it's kind of going along this side of this road. Because then what we can do with this SwitchCon campus right here by this industrial thing. Although, do you pollute? Medium ground, medium air, high noise. Yeah, you do pollute. I mean, you could go somewhere else, but I think this is going to make this area look much cooler. So I think we're going to stick with it. Okay. What I want to do then is I want to have a road that kind of comes off Holly and then fronts this area with a parking lot to the side. So let's do this. Let's grab a 2-lane road, place it right along the front, and we'll send another road kind of right like this at the 90, right off here. Great. Then bring this out to here. I want it to be at the 180. Yep. And then I want to come in here and add in some parking. Like if I were to send this straight back, send this straight back, could I possibly fit one more? Come on. Come on. Bam. Okay. And then we just use a regular road, connect all these up together like so. All right. This needs a little bit more detailing. I think all of this section here would be grass. Do we think that there would be parking in the front? I think there might be. Just a little bit. Let's do this. Let's place This road, let's bring this straight down, right, at the 90. Then let's try to get at least 2 rows in here. I think it's more than enough. Then we send this down at the 90. Get rid of this segment. We've now built an additional parking lot right here. Fill this in with the surface. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to clear out all of the crosswalks, add some grass, and slap down a few trees. Okay. So now we've got... Oh, wrong button. So now we've got our new ServPro building, or SwitchCon building. How many people does this employ? 247. That's fantastic. So we've got this building here looking pretty nice. All of these have been gone abandoned already. Okay. Just going to delete those. That never happened. It unlocked the building we wanted, which is all that mattered. In the next part, I think I need to continue working on this, building out this industrial area further, as well as connect up this train. We've got a passenger connection and a cargo connection. So I think we could really easily start transporting people here. They could then walk over into work at SwitchCon. Maybe we add some kind of path connection here. I mean, there's even 300 people who work here at this industrial area, the nuclear power plant. 300 there, 50 here. Each of these has 97, 39, 100, 75, 247. I mean, even down here, people, I believe, work here. 12, yeah. So this all is going to need some better connectivity. Right now, the only option we have is the highway, and people are using that, but I want to give them alternative methods to get here as well. So for now, we're going to leave this part here, but in the next part, we're going to add some transportation connections to this area, as well as additional industrial to just finish building out this new area. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members-only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.